What's going on, True Soldiers? It's Lil Bradford here, aka King Truth, and I want to welcome you to our fourth fundamental principle in our two-part class, the second part, reaching your peak through a growth mindset. And today we're going to be talking about the power of presence. I got an illustration here that I drew. I got to work on my Picasso and Da Vinci skills, art skills, but as you can see, it's presence, priming for your prime time, affirmations, affirming your deepest values, and expanding. So we'll jump right in with priming. Presence is essentially being in tune with your authentic self and expressing it boldly. And priming, that's the preparation you do before you go into the activity you have. You'll want to prime yourself by visualizing a time you crushed a similar experience before in your past. You want to relive that energy. You want to say, yeah, I was awesome at that. I crushed it. I nailed that performance. And that actually commemorates or consummates the action of actually doing great, opposed to not thinking you're gonna do well, worrying about performance and etc., failing. That commemorates you actually doing what you primed and not doing so well in that performance. To give an example of how I like to prime myself, for example, like when I play basketball games or when I even prepare for classes, I like to prime myself before by remembering the time that I won, I defend greatly, hit a game-winning free throw, hit a game-winning shot, or that I crushed the class. I look back on my notes and while I'm preparing and be like, I've done this before and I did great at it. So you want to do that before you start practicing or planning. Then also while you're practicing and planning, keeping in your mind those times that you hit that shot and it went in, those times where you just did absolutely great at that performance. And then right before that activity that you engage in, you want to prime yourself. You want to see what you were doing great while you were doing it, and then how you felt after that performance. Then our second big idea in presence is affirmations, affirming. Not in the sense like, being pseudo affirmative with yourself, lying to yourself like, I'm good enough, I'm awesome. When your body doesn't like when you lie to it. When you lie to it, you want to have affirmations. You can use a process I like to do. You'll identify your 3 deepest core values. What identifies yourself? What are your values that makes you great? Then after you say to yourself or write down those 3 values in one word, sum up those values of yourself in one value, one word. And you can write that down or speak it aloud to yourself or to others. And you'll be affirming your true affirmations of who you are. So you also want to say why that value is important to you. because it'll show, what this will do is it'll show you who you are overall, not just what this one performance means to you. You're not being identified by, say for instance, this one fight you're about to go into. That's not going to identify you. You're great, you're awesome, you've done this before, and you go on with a mindset with the affirmations needed, the true affirmations needed to excel and propel you to the level that you need to be at to get that win or get that great performance. Then 3 is expanding. Some of y'all may have seen Amy Cuddy's TED Talk. If you haven't, go check it out. It's one of the top viewed TED Talks with about like 45 million or so views. That's Amy Cuddy on, I believe it's like on the power of body language and what it does to you. So when you're preparing yourself with body languages, keep in mind that your motivations are bi-directional. Your body affects your mind just like putting your hands on your hips. That sends signals to your mind that you're expanding and you're being powerful. And vice versa is bi-directional. Your mind prepares your body via the priming and the affirmations. Your overall presence would be your priming, your affirmations, your expanding is bi-directional. So if you, for example, if you look at someone that is smiling, that smile is expressing their happiness. Also, that smile is a cause of their happiness. It's bi-directional. For instance, it was research done where it was 2 people split into groups that were viewing a comedy. The one part of the group put a pen in between their lips and simulated it as if they were frowning. The second half of the group put a pen between their teeth and simulated what was a smile. And after they got finished viewing that comedy, the ones that had the second half of the group that had the pen between their teeth actually enjoyed and got more out of the comedy, more so than the group that had the simulated frown. Excuse me. That's some high quality H2O. But you can look at people that win races, Usain Bolt or whoever it may be, Johnson, that win races. After they win that race, they throw their arms in the air for a V for victory, a powerful pose. Even if someone was blind and never seen that before, they tend to throw their arms in the air for victory. You see powerful poses. Now, powerful poses actually, like hands on your hips or arms in the air, different things, opposed to conversely the conservative poses like balling up and hands on their jugular, which actually hands on your jugular is insinuating as if you were prey. Balling up and conserving yourself actually underperforms in situations where powerful poses, like you got your hands on your hips and you got a cape on looking up to the sky like Superman, outperforms. To give you a little glimpse on what I like to do is before each performance test or game that I have coming up, I like to do powerful poses to prime myself, my body, to prime my mind. After I prime my mind, to prime my body, I'll do power poses. Right before I do that, or even in the intermission between the games or practices that I'm doing, I do power poses. But like Amy Cuddy says in her TED talk, don't go around just doing power poses freaking people out now. Just in the middle of things, unless if you're like in a dominant sport where that's actually acceptable, like where you're showing dominance. And the last thing to think of in presence is imagine yourself at your peak, your identity, who you are, and who you're gonna be. Walk that walk, talk that talk, act accordingly. You want to be the person you see at your peak. Because your identity, against common belief, your identity drives your actions, and your actions drive your feelings. As you can see here at the bottom, identity drives actions. Your feelings derive from your actions. And you can visualize yourself at the end. Vice versa. You don't want your feelings, like I don't feel like doing this, so I'm not going to act on it. Or I halfway feel like doing this, so I'm going to halfway act on it. And then that'll drive what your identity is based on your performance, how you did, and your overall performances. So that's a quick look into presence, true soldiers. I hope you're having a great day. You're expanding, affirming, and priming yourself for your prime time throughout your months, years, and lifetime. Until next time, true soldiers. Appreciate it.